where the lights mount, should I call my HOA, how does it work with zoning, how's my system powered, how much should I actually install, what is common, what do people typically do. So if you've been looking at permanent holiday lighting at all, you're probably wondering a few questions. I'm gonna try and answer as many as the common questions that we get in this video. We're gonna go over the installation type and systems. We're gonna go over your HOA or city code approvals. We're gonna go over how the zoning on your home or building works. We're gonna go over how we're powering the system, okay? Gonna also cover how much of the home or building should you install. And then finally, am I stuck in my decision or can I add more later? First things first, install type, okay? Now we have a number of different systems that we install, okay? Do we want the lights facing out? Do we want the lights pointing directly down? Do we want them at an angle? Do we want them pointing up? This is all gonna depend entirely on what you're looking for, okay? The most common way is to point them directly down underneath the soffit for residential. Now for commercial, it's completely different. Honestly, the most common way for commercials is to point them directly out, mounted on the fascia board, the fascia of the building. And then we also have different installation types depending on that commercial. If we're gonna point them up, we're at a 45-degree angle. So that all really just depends on what you're looking to do. Now that also rolls into our HOA and city ordinance approval. So as far as HOAs go, we've never not been able to get into an HOA because our lights do not change the appearance of the home. They aren't over the lumens count, and they also point down and not point towards the street. And extra perks are they actually add an accent lighting feature to your home, which most HOAs actually require. So you got that underway. City ordinances, a lot of people ask about the light pollution standards. These are under the lumens account, first off, and then second off, most of them are pointing down and they're not bright enough to really make a difference. So you're good on city ordinances for that aspect. Now, in the HOA, the reason most people point their lights down is because if you do point them out, you can violate your HOA agreement by pointing them out towards the street, and you'd be stuck to only using them between the holiday seasons. Whereas if you point them down, there's really nothing they can do. The main focus on those for HOA is added security lighting and accent lighting, which they actually like. A lot of nicer HOAs will actually require you to have some sort of accent lighting on the home. Okay, as far as the roofline zoning goes, now we recommend just creating the front of your house as a single zone. Don't try to break it up into a ton of different zones. If you want to do a lot of different zones for the front of your house to be able to control all the different peaks and roof lines as a different pattern, we have systems for that. So you just have to work with your design consultant to figure out which one is the best for the situation you're trying to get. For the vast majority of people, about 95% of our customer base, they just want to turn the lights on and have them work and edit the patterns and make them change, right? And so for those, we recommend honestly doing the front of your house as a zone and the back of your house as a different zone at the most, okay? Now rolling into how much should I install, that's completely up to you. We see about probably 40% of our homes just do the front. We see, depending if they're on a street corner or not, a lot of people will do the corner and side of their house. We see about, depending on how much you want to spend, people will do the full wraparound. Now, is it worth it if you have a side yard that's really small? I don't know, because you don't really get to experience the lights on those sides of the house. But probably another 30% of our customers do the front and the back porch because you can differentiate those zones, and you can have the front doing like a 4th of July pattern and the back could just be white ambient lighting. The nice thing our customers like about the back is you're not having these string lights that are hanging down, that are falling off, that are in the way, that you're snagging as you're carrying stuff around the back porch. These are all tucked up, nice and neat, color matched to your back porch, so they can create that lighting. You can change up the effects, but they blend in really nicely and actually add a lot to the home. So how is that system going to be powered? So for the vast majority of people, it is a control box, as you can see here, that is just mounted on the wall and plugged right into an outlet. The typical place for this is located inside the garage or a utility closet because it does have a fan and it is noisy, so we don't like to put it inside the house or close to a bedroom or anything like that because it can cause noise, especially through the night while it's running. So for the vast majority of you, we are just gonna place it in the garage, we're gonna plug it in an outlet, and then the low voltage wiring will run from that control box up into the attic or out through the wall and to the roof line where we're going to start. Now the wiring, depending on your installation and the company doing it for you, this is where things can get interesting. Our company has a lot of experience, and so our wires are very, very well hidden. They're very well protected, and you can't really tell they're there unless you're really, really, really looking for them. Most houses you can't tell. Some houses we have to retrofit, and it's really difficult to get a wire to a secondary roof line or a second story when there's zero attic space. But I would challenge you to try and find them with our crew. And now let's say you're not really sure, should we do the whole house? Would we like it enough to spend the money on the full thing? Just do the front. Just get the front done. You can always add more later. Now, depending on which system you do, it is critical that we know that you're going to add later so we can plan out our wiring to be able to add additional lights down the road. But it's really easy for most homes and systems. It's just a simple plug and play. We can continue on running the lights down the side of a house, or we can run an entirely new home run and plug in the lights for a different side of the house and keep going. So it's really easy and adaptable to add on down the future. I'd honestly say we get in the first part of the year, we get a lot of business from people after they've gone through the Christmas season, calling us to add on to certain parts of their home because they love their lights so much. So hopefully this answered a few of your questions about where the lights mount. Should I call my HOA? How does it work with zoning? How's my system powered? How much should I actually install? What is common? What do people typically do? And then can I always add on more later? So any questions, go ahead and just shoot us a message.